I just spent 7 hours on Royal Caribbean's newest cruise ship, checking out what's new, different, and interesting, and I wanted to share this first look with you up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Utopia of the Seas is Royal Caribbean's newest cruise ship, sailing out of Port Canaveral, Florida, offering short 3 and 4 night cruises. Royal Caribbean invited me to come on the ship and take a look around. I was only on for just the day, and there was still a lot of work being done, putting on some finishing touches, but it's nearly ready for guests to enjoy for its first revenue sailing. And I wanted to give you a quick heads up about what you can really expect and what stood out on my first visit on Utopia of the Seas. What really stands out to me is Utopia really encompasses the very best of what Royal Caribbean has to offer right now. There are other Oasis-class ships out there, but what Utopia really stands on are the lessons learned from all the ships that came before it. And there's some new features, things that have been enhanced, and some things that clearly were borrowed from other cruise ships out there. When you walk on Utopia of the Seas, the first thing you're going to run to is the Pesky Parrot, and this is one of the new venues on board the ship. Pesky Parrot is a tiki bar, but what really makes the Pesky Parrot really interesting is how vibrant and bright this space is. I wanted to spend so much more time here just hanging out because you've got this great digital backdrop that makes it seem like you're right at the beach. You got these cool colors, great pina coladas. It was really compelling, and I really think this is going to be a huge home run. It replaces the Bionic Bar, and this is just such a win on so many different levels. If there's two venues that really blew me away, it was certainly Izumi and Giovanni's Italian Kitchen. And I'm talking just visually because, of course, I did not have a chance to actually eat here. Izumi is, quite frankly, massive, and it's easily the largest in the fleet. There's space for hibachi tables, sushi tables, and an all-new omakase table. Think of this like a chef's table experience, but just Japanese cuisine. There's also a sushi takeout window where you can drop in for a couple rolls and then go elsewhere on the ship. And this is a feature that came from Icon of the Season. I absolutely love that, but I cannot wait to try the omakase table because I think this is gonna be really up my alley. But I was just simply so impressed by how big this space is, and of course, just how many options there are within one restaurant. But the real surprise to me was also Giovanni's because it's in a new location. And listen, we've seen Giovanni's on other ships around the fleet. But what they did here on Utopia is really not only take this great menu, but put it in a fantastic location. Just like real estate, say what's the most important thing? Location, location, location. Well, the same is true about restaurants. And on Icon of the Seas, Giovanni's is located in the very busy promenade. But instead, on Utopia, they put it up on deck 11 and 12. It's multi-story, and it has some fantastic views and outdoor dining that overlooks the boardwalk. When the weather cooperates out there, I would love to have a meal here because it just looks like an absolutely stunning place to have a dinner or a lunch or both. During my journey, I got a chance to sit down with Jay Schneider, who's Royal Caribbean Senior Vice President and Chief Product Innovation Officer, and he was saying that Utopia's pool deck will be the best in class. And when you walk around the pool deck, I kind of saw what he was talking about. What he means is that just about every feature that you'll find on the pool deck is essentially the best of from around the fleet. It's not that the pool deck is fundamentally different than other ships, but more that incorporates the best lessons learned from around Royal Caribbean. You're going to find, of course, a giant aqua park, wide open pools, giant hot tubs, a multi-story lime and coconut bar, and all of it just simply fits a whole lot better. Speaking of the pool deck, the new adults-only solarium is enclosed, which means better temperature controls, and as somebody who always prefers it to be a little cooler than hot and humid, I really appreciated that they had this here in the solarium and had some great views out there. And the solarium is one of those places that if you look at older Oasis-class ships, like especially Oasis Allure and even Harmony, and then see the evolution of this space to the newer ships, it's really striking. Another new place to eat on Utopia is going to be the Spare Tire, which is a food truck concept on the pool deck. Now, the idea here is simple. Allow guests who are having a great time at the pool be able to grab food quickly without having to go back to the Windjammer or simply go inside. This is a grab-and-go kind of place, and you're going to find Chipotle chicken sandwiches and Mediterranean veggie wraps and something called the Cheese and Pepperoni Tornado and a Ranchero Beef and Cheese Tornado. I had to look up what this is. Evidently, this is a thing, but I didn't know about it, so I guess I'm weird. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever heard of a tornado before in reference to food. Two more really notable things about Utopia that stand out. Number one, the Ultimate Abyss is not only on the ship, but it's also the longest slide at sea, taking title back from MSC Cruises. Royal Caribbean made it 43 feet longer, and they've also promised that the Ultimate Abyss will have some more new surprises within the ride itself. I'm looking forward to trying it out when I get there. And Arguably just as important, if not most importantly, there are the destination elevators on Utopia of the Seas. This is a feature that first got added to Icon of the Seas, and it has been an absolute game changer. I know that we often reuse that term a lot, game changer, but I'm telling you, the destination elevators truly are worthy of that title because it really cuts down on the wait times for elevators on Icon, and I can't wait to be on an Oasis-class ship that has amazing elevators as well. Now, within my 7 hours, I tried to see as much as humanly possible. I went through Central Park, which is, of course, always stunning. I love Central Park. It's such a beautiful area, and I got a chance to see 150 Central Park, Shops Grill, and what's nice is, while these aren't new venues, but what they've done is they've actually enhanced them a little bit. Like, Chops has just a refreshed look to it, and 150 Central Park always has a different motif to it, depending on which ship you're on, and I thought that was really nice. Park Cafe is a great place for a quick bite to eat. I especially like their breakfast options here, but again, a very nice spot. And no matter which ship I'm on that has a Central Park, whether it's an Icon or an Oasis-class ship, I love spending time out here. If you're wondering about the shows, all the shows were in rehearsals on the day that I was there, so I did not have a chance to see them. But of course, Utopia of the Seas has an Aqua Theater, a Royal Theater, and Studio B, and all these venues are over there. So we'll have to get more information when I get on the preview sailings in the coming week. But at the very least, the cast is on board and they are rehearsing it. And I'm hopeful we'll get a chance to see all those shows in the next couple days when Utopia of the Seas actually launches. If you've cruised before, especially if you cruise on Wonder of the Seas or really any of the other Oasis-class ships, there are certainly similarities that you're going to find between Utopia and the other Oasis-class ships. What I think really makes Utopia of the Seas stand out is, of course, those tweaks. It reminds me a lot like technology, like with phones as an example, in the sense that these days, a lot of times, new phones, they're not like seismically different. Remember the iPhone like 2 to 3 to 4 to 5? Like, I mean, they were like, whoa, I can't believe they did that, right? But since then, especially in the last couple of years, there's like minor things. But the most important thing is when you get a brand new phone, it's got the latest and greatest, and that is exactly what Utopia has. There's a lot of lessons applied here, and not all of it is really worthy of certainly highlighting. As an example, in the Mason Jar, which is a great Southern American specialty restaurant, they added a wall behind where the performers play on the stage. It's a very, very minor thing, but I think it'll really help keep the venue cooler because before that, it almost had a greenhouse type of effect. Most importantly, like any Royal Caribbean cruise ship, you're going to find plenty of fun on board. Walking throughout the ship, I'm reminded just how much they pack onto just one ship. You've got the Flow Rider Surf Simulator, you have a zip line, mini golf course, all the amazing shows I didn't even get a chance to see yet, the activities on board, Adventure Ocean Kids programming, sports court, the casino, the list really goes on. And if you're considering a cruise on Utopia of the Seas, what you really need to know is that you're going to find a lot of choices. And I mean a lot because that's what Royal Caribbean wants. They want to give you an almost overwhelming, in a good way, amount of choices on how you want to spend your vacation. Utopia of the Seas is absolutely being marketed towards new cruisers. They want people who are looking at booking a cruise for the very first time to look at the options, then see Utopia, and then say to themselves, there's no way we're booking anything else because this is heads and shoulders above what the other competition has to offer. I had just a few hours, but don't worry, I'll be back on board Utopia of the Seas for the preview sailing. That'll be a media cruise as well as the first 2 revenue sailings. So I'm going to have almost 2 weeks of Utopia of the Seas to really digest it all, experience it, and then share with all of you what you can expect. We're going to have a full wall-to-wall coverage of Utopia of the Seas, and I want to know in the comments below, what are you most excited for? What really gets you thinking about booking Utopia of the Seas? And if you did book Utopia of the Seas, where are you going to go first? What's the change that really stands out to you? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts, and also while you're down below our video, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. That way, YouTube lets you know of a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.